The Athletics have a lineup that could be in the top 10 in baseball. The rotation has a solid floor. I don't think it should be worse than 20th if healthy-ish. The bullpen's a bigger concern. There aren't many arms with high leverage experience, and how does that convert to wins for a team that looks like it should be able to take a step forward in a weak AL West? On the prospect side of things, Jump, Hoagland and Barnett should be able to help the pitching staff at some point in 2026, but the bullpen is very dependent on Mark Leiter Jr. and Scott Barlow delivering in a big way. Internal development is one way to answer their bullpen issues. Justin Sterner is a real breakout candidate for this A's team, particularly as I think he's going to get some high leverage reps. He had a 3.13 ERA across 61 big league outings last year. He's got a 110 stuff plus on a fastball, plus an elite secondary pitch and a slider/sweeper depending on where you look. He was getting loads of whiffs last year, and I could easily see him being one of the better relievers in the American League this time around. Barring a major breakout from one of their young arms or a career years from some of their veteran starters, I can't see the A's being a playoff team this year, but I think they're going to be in the mix around 500 for most of the season. I've gone for 79 and 83 for their record. The Astros' problem is their rotation behind Hunter Brown. Even with Framber Valdez and Brown pitching at all-star levels last year, they were a middling group in ERA, FIP and expected ERA from their rotation. Now Tatsuya Imaya's come in, but we don't know what we're going to get from him. Christian Javier, Mike Burrows, Lance McCullers Jr. This is not a starting staff that screams playoff team to me. The lineup, sure, good, very good potentially, if healthy. The bullpen looks great on paper, should be among the best in baseball once again. But this team I don't think they're going to be able to get enough long or good outings from their rotation to really compete. There aren't young pitching prospects banging down the door to come and address this issue. In fact, their most likely breakup form is probably Zach Cole, who's got great power and speed. And there's maybe a player there that could have 30-30 upside if we're being generous. But that's not what the Astros happen to need in 2026. Years of dominance are behind us. I'm expecting a middle-of-the-pack season for the Astros. I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up selling on other pieces and just having to make a decision in which way to go. I think they're going to go 81 and 81 in 2026. Stop me if you've heard this before, but there are doubts about the Los Angeles Angels rotation. Any hope of progress for the Angels depends on Jose Soriano, who was 12th in pitching plus last year with a great split and slider, and Grayson Rodriguez, who's got a 112 pitching plus for his career, stepping up to near all-star or all-star levels. So this rotation could be at least average and possibly better than that. As far as a breakout player, George Klassen struck out loads of guys in the minors and he's looked very good in spring training so far. Could go with him. I like Ryan Zeffajan though. He's got 3 good to great pitches and he should get some opportunities in late game situations this year, particularly if the Angels aren't competitive. There's a world where he gets his control right and is really close to an elite reliever. If you're an Angels fan looking for a crumb of hope this year, I can give you some. Look, it's not going to be the end of the playoff drought, but I'm thinking 78 and 84 seems well within reach for this group. Despite reaching the ALCS last year, are the Mariners being slept on in 2026? The offense has seen Josh Naylor re-signed, Brendan Donovan acquired via trade, Cole Emerson is on the way. Oh, and they've got possibly the best rotation of baseball on paper. I mean, I think it should be a top 3, top 5 group, however you want to rank them. The only question I'd really have about this team is Cal Raleigh's not going to be as good as he was last year. It's just statistically almost impossible. So where does the lineup go? Is it a top 10 group? Is it just above average, carried by its pitching? We need to see what everyone else can provide to compensate for a slight decrease in Raleigh's production. Given how established so many of the players in this roster are, it's hard to pick a breakout player, but I'm going with Carlos Legumina. He's got a great slider, a serviceable fastball, and hitters were very rarely pulling him in the air last year. His location plus suggests his command issues can be brought under control too. As you can probably tell, I'm very, very high on the 2026 Mariners. I think they're going to win 95 games this year and absolutely cruise the division. What can we really predict from the Texas Rangers? They're reliant on 2 veteran but still very, very good starters in DeGrom and Eovaldi. Mackenzie Gore I liked as a trade acquisition. Major bullpen turnover due to free agents coming and going. Brandon Nimmo got brought in the Marcus Semien trade. I don't know what to make of this team really. They're not perfect. They're not awful either. Does that mean they're going to be 500? I don't know. There's a huge range of outcomes with how this roster is constructed. I feel like Jack Leiter could be the swing piece with this team. He had a 3.28 ERA in the second half last year. If he can replicate that, you've suddenly got a rotation that can live with Eovaldi and or DeGrom missing a few starts. If he regresses, then this team looks like its floor is like bottom of the division bad. Speaking of pitching depth, Cole Whitten had good numbers in a relatively small sample size in the big leagues last year, but his expected numbers were not very strong. I think he can improve on his actual performance and not get as lucky results-wise this year. His fastball / sinker are really strong pitches. He's got a couple of good off-speed offerings, and if you put that all together, they could have a useful multi-inning guy out of the bullpen. Partly down to the Gore trade, partly down to just a different year from last season. I think the Rangers are going to make a slight improvement, but I don't think they're going to be able to get close to the Mariners. I'm going for an 86-win season for Texas.